Hello students, this is Govind sir, and in the previous video we have discussed about the basic of mechatronics, block diagram, system engineering, verification and validations, and some benefits of mechatronic systems. Now we will discuss in this video the second topic of the unit first, that is Network's theorem. It is related to electrical and electronic circuits, and which is also an important part of mechatronic system. That's why we are studying it. Clear? So start with the first law, or can say network law of this topic, that is Kirchhoff's law. Kirchhoff's circuit law are two equalities that deal with the conservation of charge and energy in electrical circuits. There are basically two kind of Kirchhoff's law. First one is Kirchhoff's current law, and second one is Kirchhoff's voltage law. And the Kirchhoff's current law is based on the principle of conservation of electric charge, whereas the KVL, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law, based on the principle of the conservation of energy. Okay, so first one is related to conservation of electrical charge, and the second one is related to the conservation of energy, KCL and KVL. So it starts with the KCL. This law is also called Kirchhoff's first law, Kirchhoff's point rule, Kirchhoff's junction rule. So lot of names of the KCL, and it is also familiar with KCL. The principle of conservation of electric charge implies that at any node in an electrical circuit, the sum of currents flowing into the node is equal to the sum of current flowing out of that node, or can say the algebraic sum of in network of conductors meeting at a point is 0. Clear? So sum of the current flowing into the node is equal to the sum of the current flowing out of the node. So can say in short, incoming current equals to outgoing current for a particular node. Whereas the another way of this theorem, that is the algebraic sum of currents in a network or conductors meeting at a point is 0. That is algebraic sum of all currents at a node will be 0. So strictly speaking, KCL only applies to circuits with steady currents like DC, whereas however for AC circuits having dimensions such much smaller than the wavelength, then KCL is also approximately applicable. So the dimensions much smaller than the wavelength for AC circuits, then we will apply KCL in AC also. So this is used for steady current circuits. Now we have an example. You can see in this image, I1, this is a node, and I1 and I4 are outgoing currents, and whereas I2 and I3 are incoming currents. So according to the definition, incoming currents equals to outgoing currents, then I1, the sum of incoming currents equals to sum of outgoing current. So I1 plus I4 equals to I2 plus I3. Another way, the algebraic sum of, algebraic means the current is a signed quantity reflecting direction towards or away from the node. That's why we can take a positive towards the node, or can say negative away from the node. That's why algebraic sum of I equals to 0. That is algebraic sum of current equals to 0. This is all about the KCL. Now we have another law, second law, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law. This law is also called Kirchhoff's law, Kirchhoff's loop rule, or can say Kirchhoff's second rule. Okay, this is based on the energy conservation, and it implies that the directed sum of the electric potential differences around any closed circuit is 0. So this is related to the potential differences, and KCL related to the current. So more simply, the sum of EMFs in any closed loop is equivalent to the sum of potential drops in the loop. Strictly speaking, KVL also applies to the circuit with steady currents. However, AC circuits having dimensions much smaller than the wavelength, then KVL is also approximately applicable. So it is based on the conservation of energy, and it is related to the voltage. Now we have an example. In this we have an EMF source, that is V4, and we have four resistors, whereas the drop is V1, V2, V3. Then the algebraic sum of EMFs equals to the algebraic sum of voltage drop of all elements. So you can see this equation, sum of algebraic sum of VEMFs, that is equals to sum of potential drops at the resistors, or can say the algebraic sum of potential drops equals to 0. So we have two way to represent this KVL. In this another way, we can write V1 plus V2 plus V3 minus V4 equals to 0. So you have to mention the sign, quantity, voltage in the equation. Now we have mesh analysis, another theorem, that is mesh analysis. It's a method that is used to solve planar circuits for the currents. Planar circuits are circuits that can be drawn on a plane surface with no wire crossing each other. Mesh analysis works by arbitrary assigning mesh currents in the essential meshes. An essential mesh is a loop in this circuit that does not contain any other loop. So we will understand with the diagram. Suppose we have this circuit, and in which circuit we have only two meshes, two loops, okay, individual loops, and capital I1, I2 and I3 are the currents in the branches of these loops, but the small I1 and small I2 are the current which flowing through the individual loops. So we can apply KVL in both loops individually. Clear? So KVL is related to the conservation of energy, and where is the algebraic sum of potential drops in the loop will be 0. So we can move to the equations. In the mesh 1 we have potential algebraic sum of potential differences. We can rewrite this equation, and for second map we have again potential difference, algebraic sum of potential differences equals to 0, and then we rewrite the equation. So we can solve these two equations by in any form, any method, okay. First one method is related to the matrix method. You can also use that, and use I for a mesh current and capital I for branch current, small I for mesh current and capital I for branch current. And this is evident from figure that capital I1 equals to I1, I2 equals to I2, and I3 equals to I1 minus I2. I can repeat this from figure. You can see here this I1, I3 equals to what will be the I3. So this is small I1 and this is small I2. So the net current will be I1 minus I2 in the direction of capital I3. So I1 minus I2 equals to I3. Clear? This is written here. So this is all about the mesh analysis. Now we have next nodal analysis. In electric circuit analysis, nodal voltage analysis, or the branch current method is a method of determining the voltage between nodes, okay, in a electrical circuit in terms of the branch currents. So in the mesh analysis we are finding the currents, whereas in the nodal analysis we are finding the voltage in the form of currents. Clear? So nodal analysis is possible when all the circuit elements branch constitutive relations have an admittance representation. So Kirchhoff's current law is used to develop the method referred as nodal analysis. In the mesh analysis we are using KVL, whereas in the nodal analysis we are using KCL. Suppose we have an example. The first step is to find the reference node. Reference node is a ground node, Okay, so in the circuit we have to mention that is reference node. That is our first step, and in the second step we have to find out the number of nodes. Suppose we have this circuit, and in this circuit we have three nodes, 1 2 3, and v1 v2 v3 are the node voltages, okay, respectively. So in this circuit we have three nodes and one reference ground. If if on a branch we have V1 at one node voltage and V2 at another node voltage, then the current in this branch will be V1 minus V2 upon 500, because the direction of current in this way. Okay, so V1 is greater than V2, V1 minus V2 upon 500. Similarly, if we have a node voltage V1 and another is grounded, then the current in this branch that is V1 upon 500 ohm. So it is very clear to how to find out the current in the branch in the form of node voltages. Clear? So start with the first node. In the first node we have three branches. In the first branch we have current source, and in the second branch we have resistance and another is resistance. So we can calculate that I1 equals to V1 minus V2 upon 500 and V1 upon 500. So I1 equals to V1 minus V2 upon 500 plus V1 upon 500. That is the equation for node 1. Similarly, KCL node 2. At node 2 we have three branches again, but there is no current source, no voltage source directly connected to these branch, but we have node voltages V1 V2 and V3. Then we can calculate the current algebraic sum of currents equals to 0 at node 2. So for this current we have V2 minus V1 upon 500, and for this current we have V2 minus V3 upon 500, and for this branch we have V2 upon 1 kilo ohm. So this is the equation for node 2. Similarly, we have node 3. Again we have three branches, but in the one branch we have current source in this direction. So for this branch the equation will be V3 minus V2 upon 500 ohm, and for this branch we have V3 minus V3 upon 500 ohm equals to the current source, that is I2. So we can solve these all equations. We have three variables V1 V2 V3 and we have three equations. So just solve the equations and find out the node voltages. Clear? So this is all about the nodal analysis and mesh analysis and Kirchhoff voltage law, Kirchhoff's current laws. We will continue this lecture in the next video also, because we have some theorems again, like Thevenin theorem, superposition theorem and maximum transfer theorem, that will be also an important part of these theorem networks. Okay, thank you.